Few weeks ago I visited the guys at Blackstar HQ and they were kind enough to give me this little Blackstar Fly 3 to try out, and actually I was really impressed. And believe it or not, in these weeks I've basically played just with this tiny amplifier because it's so easy and simple to use, just plug and play and you have a good tone. So it was, you know, really a cool experience indeed. So I ordered at strumentimusicali.net a few other competitors, just to, you know, to see what the other brands can offer in this price range and in this typology of product. But before revealing what I ordered, I kindly ask you to subscribe to my channel and leave a like if you like this kind of videos. And without further ado, let's proceed with the unboxing. The first mini amplifier that we're gonna take a look today is the Laney Lionheart Mini Lion, actually. And this one is just like a tiny amplifier like the other ones, but really lightweight actually. It's made of plastic. We have a gain control, the tone control and the volume, so nothing really fancy here. 2 channels, so we have actually a clean channel and a drive channel. And the unique feature is that we can connect our smartphone with this LSI cable. That's basically a mini jack cable. So you can use an app to expand your tonal palette, let's say that. Unfortunately, it's not Bluetooth, so you have to use the cable. And if you're an iPhone user, many recent iPhones don't have the headphone jack anymore, so you have to use an adapter, so it's not really the best thing in the world, but still. And then of course we have the normal aux in and the headphones jack. Another thing I want to mention is that it's not delivered with batteries, so you have to buy them separately, so we don't have any battery in here. And also the power supply that's required, it's a little bit weird because it has the center positive, so it's not your standard 9 volts power supply that you have, for example, for your guitar pedals. So just, you know, keep this in mind, otherwise you will have this one, and if you don't have any batteries around, you can use it until you buy batteries or a power supply. But let's hear some sounds of this little amp. The little orange is a really cool looking amplifier indeed. It has few features, but some features are really interesting, like the speaker output, the 8 ohm speaker output, so you can actually play this little amp through a real cab. That's kind of weird, I mean, for this kind of product, but anyway, it's quite interesting. And then another unique feature is that we have a tuner here that's really useful actually for your practice sessions. And then we have just the volume, the gain control and the tone control, nothing really fancy, and we don't have any power on buttons, so actually to turn it on we just have to plug our cable in it. So if you don't want to use the battery without playing it, just remember to unplug the cable if you're not using it. A really cool thing is that it will be delivered with a 9-volt battery, so you can play this amplifier just right out of the box, but you can also use a power supply, 9 volts and 500 milliampere, so milliamps, so that's kind of cool. Not much else, and we can check out some tones of this little amplifier. Okay, the little Katana Mini, it's kind of a nice amplifier. It's a little bit bigger than the others, still made of plastic though, but it's 7 watts instead of 3, so it's a little bit more powerful. I mean, you can definitely hear that this little thing has more power, it's louder for sure. We have the gain control and the volume control with 3 selectable channels, a clean crunch and a brown kind of tone, brown sound that actually you can find also in the bigger Katana version. We have actually a full 3-band EQ with bass, middle and treble. It's kind of a nice touch. And then we have a delay on board. It's kind of cool as well. We don't have much else apart from the auxiliary input and the phone's output, the headphones output. We don't have Bluetooth here, a little bit disappointing actually, but still it's a nice sounding amp and you can hear that in the next example. Okay, the NUX Mighty Lite is a kind of a cool amplifier because it has a lot of features actually. This one still doesn't have batteries, so it's not delivered with batteries. You can, of course, put them in, but you have to buy them separately. But you have a more standard 9 volts power supply, so you can power this one also with your normal power supply that you use for pedals. At least, of course, you have to have at least 500 milliamps or something like that. This amplifier feature the gain control, the volume and the tone control, but we have 3 channels available, so you can actually have a more variety of sounds. And also a really nice feature, we have a delay and a reverb that's really nice to have on board when you're practicing. Apart from that, we have also a drum machine that's integrated. That's kind of cool. I mean, it's not the best sound that you can have, like a drum wise, but you know, if you just have if you just need to have some rhythm while you're playing, you can, for example, also you just use the metronome. It's kind of useful, you know, to have that on board and without, you know, using your phone or on the metronome or whatever. So kind of a nice touch. We have anyway phones and auxiliary input for sure, and you can also connect your phone via the Bluetooth. That's kind of a nice touch. But let's hear how this little thing sounds. Okay, the little Blackstar Fly 3 is a really nice amplifier. This one is the Bluetooth version that's a little bit more expensive than the standard edition. But if you want to play with backing tracks and stuff like that without using cables, I think it's a nice touch for sure. This one has the input, of course, and then the volume, the gain, and then we have the EQ with the ISF, that, as I said in other videos, is not my favorite tone control ever, but it's kind of nice in this amplifier because actually this amplifier sounds quite good. No matter how you use the EQ, it's just tweaked right for my taste. I mean, it's really nice to play, okay? And then we have a delay on board. It's kind of nice as well, you know, to have a nice tone, okay, while you're practicing. It's, yeah, it has to be inspiring, and this one for sure is. And this amplifier is delivered with batteries. That's kind of cool, but I bought the Blackstar power supply because when I plugged it in and I thought that this was sounding cool, I didn't want to, you know, spend a lot of money in batteries or buy rechargeable ones. So I said, okay, I'll buy the power supply that actually has a little bit of a weird kind of specifications because it's still 6.5 volts. So it's not your standard power supply, but I wanted to buy the original Blackstar one because I read some reviews of other power supplies that actually were kind of a little bit noisy, especially when using the gain. So I just wanted to, you know, plug this in without any concern, and actually it sounds great. Okay, so I don't think there's much else to say. Of course, you have the headphones jack as well. Oh yeah, and then you have the extension speaker feature that actually you can buy the extension speaker and connect it to this one, so you will have a stereo setup that I think is kind of useful. I never tried that configuration, but I think it will be cool indeed. So let's check out some sounds of this little amplifier. Okay, so which one is the best one for me? Well, I don't know. Actually, all of these 5 mini amps, they have some unique features, and actually I was kind of surprised when I plugged the orange through the 2x12. It was kind of loud and powerful, and it was just like using the 9 volts battery in it. It was kind of a weird experience actually, but really cool. Regarding the tones, the orange though, it was really cool sounding when I plugged in the 2x12, but with the little speaker that's on board, it's not my favorite tone actually. Too bad, because the amplifier, it's kind of really nice looking, and as I said before, with the 2x12 it sounded pretty good, but the tiny speaker, I think it needs to be fixed a little bit. It's not my favorite at all. Plus, without a reverb or a delay, it's not that pleasant to play with such a dry sound. And same with the Laney, without any reverb on board, it's not really my favorite, but even if the tone was kind of good. I tried also to make it work with the app, but it was all about feedback and stuff. I couldn't make it work, probably my fault for sure, but in this kind of product, I don't want to mess around a lot with knobs and settings and stuff like that. I just want a thing that you plug in your guitar and it works. So it wasn't my favorite of the 5, but still pretty good sounding. Too bad there wasn't a reverb on board just like the other 3. So the NUX or NUX, the Blackstar and the Katana, that they have at least a delay. The NUX has both a delay or a reverb. It's kind of a plus, and it has a lot of features, and probably it's the most complete one and really good sounding, I have to say. If I have to speak about just the sound, maybe the Katana is the best one, but also the Blackstar is a great sounding amplifier, and actually probably the Blackstar is my favorite one, because it's just about plug the guitar into the amplifier and play it. To me, it was the best one, feel wise and sound wise. I don't know, it seems to be the highest quality of all of them, while the Katana, really nice sound, even if the delay, it's not really tweakable. I mean, it's always a little bit quiet, so I don't know why, and also it's the most powerful one, and maybe it's too much, I don't know, and it's even bigger than the others, so probably you don't need that power if you just have to play back home, or just to take it with you for holidays or for vacation or whatever. 7 watts, maybe it's too much. So yeah, I would say that probably the Blackstar is my favorite one, and I'm not saying that because I had it by the guys of Blackstar, but the quality for me, it was a little bit better than the others. Of course, also the other ones are a nice product, it's just my preference, but if you have a favorite one, please let me know in the comment section down below. I want to thank again strumentimusicali.net that gave me the chance to make this video comparison. Of course, you can find all the links in the description down below if you want to check prices and availability. And if you liked this video, guys, please leave a like and consider subscribing to my channel. And I think that's pretty much it for today. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Ciao!